Yeah, so a group of LSE students went on a trip to North Korea, and they weren't told until they actually arrived in Beijing that they were going to be accompanied by 3 journalists from the BBC. Once returning home, they then received emails from the North Korean government threatening them, very angry once they discovered that BBC journalists had gone along with them undercover. So since then we've been sort of dealing with the fallout. Students have made complaints. We have asked for the BBC to take down the Panorama programme they're choosing to show tomorrow, but they refused so far. The students had little to no information. Students were told originally that 1 journalist was going to come along, but it would be print journalism only. It wasn't until they actually arrived. Some of them say they were on the plane to Pyongyang when they were told it's going to be for a documentary. Problem is, BBC gave students enough information to implicate them had they been discovered, but not enough information to allow them to give informed consent. So a couple of years ago, when 2 American journalists were found to have done the same thing, they were both sentenced to 9 years of hard labour. We don't know what risks our students were at, but crucially, nor does the BBC. The BBC didn't allow our students to actually do a proper risk assessment. They didn't allow them to know all the risks involved or all the facts involved. Given the current geopolitical climate, I don't think North Korea would have reacted very positively to the students or to the group as a whole. And so that group is our primary concern and their welfare. But further than that, it's got implications for LSE as a whole. So a lot of our academics do some really important work and research in North Korea and in other politically sensitive areas. And the problem is that's now at risk because LSE has been associated with what the BBC did. There's so much to say for undercover journalism and for investigative journalism. I think it's fantastic. But there's not a lot to say for using students, other people's children, as a cover to get in a country. I think the BBC has to have a real look at itself in terms of its ethical regulations. The BBC already has guidelines on informed consent, but obviously they weren't followed this time. And given that the Director General still thinks it's okay to send it out, I think we need to have another look at that. But in terms of our current situation, I think we need a full apology, and I demand that the Panorama's programme not be shown.